Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. Now you can look like a gentleman, you can act like a gentleman, but when you open that big mouth of yours and whatever comes out of it is not befitting of a gentleman, then you completely and utterly defeat the object. And that is what I'm really going to talk to you about today. I'm going to be sharing with you 10 tips on how to speak like a gentleman. Now, this episode is of course mainly focused on the men out there, you gentlemen, but to all you ladies as well, I would encourage you to watch this episode because this will help you to identify the gentleman in your midst. But before we start, let me just welcome you all. First of all, to all my returning subscribers, always nice to have you guys along. Thank you so much for your continued support. And if this is your first time joining us, can I kindly ask you to please subscribe to my channel, and it's very easy to subscribe. You can just hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. It's easy, and make sure that you hit and click on the all notifications, and that way you'll be notified whenever I upload new content. And while you're at it, please like and share my videos, and you are more than welcome to leave your comments in the comment section below. If you maybe find that I have missed out on something or you want to elaborate on whatever I'm going to be discussing, I'm going to share with you 10 tips on how to speak like a gentleman. And I'm sure you would like to add some, or maybe one or two things that I've missed as well. And as you know, I go through all these comments and I try my utmost best to comment and to reply to all of them. Number one is a gentleman always say please. Now this is a core characteristic of a gentleman's lifestyle, and do not underestimate the importance of saying please. You see, a true gentleman isn't proud to use the word, whether he's asking anyone for something or just ordering a drink. Saying please is a simple and subtle act, but it shows how respectful you are. It's a sign of proper manners. By being polite while speaking to others shows that you are a man who is not only focused on himself, it also shows that we have a genuine respect for others in society and are willing to acknowledge them. And that brings me to my second point. A gentleman always says thank you. You know, doesn't matter what he receives, he always says thank you. Now this is one of the most basic things that you should have learned as a child. But unfortunately, a lot of men, a lot of guys out there didn't listen while their parents were teaching them these basic manners. When you say please and thank you, you're displaying kindness and respect. That's a sign of proper manners. And like a gentleman, whenever somebody does something for you, you should always say thank you. When the waitress serves you or the doorman opens the door for you, we prefer to hear ourselves speak as opposed to others. But if you want to speak like a gentleman, you need to remember that listening to others shows how respectful you are. Listening more than speaking allows you to develop a response and answer intelligently. Listening is key to all effective communication. Without the ability to listen effectively, messages are easily misunderstood. And as a result, communication breaks down and the sender of the message can easily become frustrated or irritated. Effective listening is the skill that underpins all positive human relationships. And here are some tips. Be genuinely interested. Focus on the person. Nod your head and make the appropriate responses. And when you speak to somebody, do not be distracted by something like a cell phone, but focus on the person or the speaker or the speakers. I mean, it's that simple. You know, I find it difficult to concentrate when I speak to somebody and they don't want to or they don't make eye contact with me. Because in my opinion, eye contact is a sign of transparency, honesty, and for me it's a sign of respect. But that's just me, and I'm sure as a gentleman you would understand exactly what I'm saying. And number 4 is, this one really goes without saying, a gentleman, do not use curse words. Now I personally get completely put off when somebody uses curse words in a conversation with me. Maybe it's because I don't swear or use curse words at all. I find it highly offensive and completely and utterly disrespectful. Cursing makes you less of a gentleman and you lose your credibility as well. Trust me, You don't need to curse to get your point across or to express yourself. You can express yourself in a more respectable and gentle way. Cursing a lot immediately tells people that you are a negative person. It makes you look unintelligent and lacking in respectability. And number 5 is, a gentleman don't talk down to people. He's not condescending. He doesn't say things that will put people down in order to lift himself up. A gentleman isn't arrogant. He doesn't have this pride around him, the pride thinking that he is better than other people. But he is confident enough and always wary of his tone. He doesn't insult people, but he's always considerate towards them. So meaning, whenever he speaks and interacts with people, it's never his intention to hurt people by things that he says and things that he does. That's not the traits of a true gentleman. And just on that point, guys, I don't really have to tell you this, but let me put it out there. A gentleman doesn't spread rumors. A gentleman doesn't gossip. That's not dignifying, guys. Please don't do it. But a gentleman is not afraid. He's so confident in himself. He's not afraid to give out compliments where it is due. And number 6 is, don't interrupt others. Now, a gentleman don't interrupt others while they speak. No, you wait your turn wait till they state their view. You listen, and after that you can respond. Because interrupting someone while they speak, it's just plain rude. You just don't do it. You listen first. I often get this. People like that, they normally listen to respond and not listen to understand. And those are the type of people, that's not really the trademark of a gentleman. I often find it that people will want to interrupt me when I speak. Because I know, and I want to talk to you now. Whenever I speak, you guys have watched all my episodes, and I'm sure, I'll tell you what happens when you listen to when I'm speaking, because this is what often happens. When I speak to people, I normally evoke a lot of memories. I evoke a lot of thoughts, the creative part of people's minds. And they are so excited because I trigger so many emotions in them that they want to respond, they want to interject, they want to talk while I'm talking, they want to interrupt. But then I just politely ask them to let me finish. And that's my advice to you as well. Because you often get that. Now, a gentleman will keep his composure, he will keep his posture, he will be a true gentleman even when he asks them, even when somebody is rude and interrupting him and breaking his thought process. You must still remain a gentleman, even when, I don't want to say reprimand somebody, but even when you put somebody and remind them, just let me finish, and you do so politely. But remember, as a gentleman, you do not interrupt people. It is disrespectful. And number 7 is, don't overshare. Now guys, listen up, man. Not everything needs to be talked about. Have you ever met someone and then after the first couple of minutes, and they've shared everything about their life, personal stuff that's got nothing to do with you and that you are not even interested in at all. That's just creepy. You need to know where to draw the line and how much information to share. This will just make you look and come across as desperate, and it will repel people from you. If you want to speak like a gentleman, you have to create a little mystery and leave them interested, wanting more. People won't trust you. What Susie says of Sally says more of Susie than of Sally. Remember that. What Susie says of Sally says more of Susie than of Sally. You must listen carefully how people talk to you about other people, because that's exactly how they will talk about you to other people. Before I get to the next point, please remember to subscribe to my channel, to like this video, to share it, and leave your comments in the comment section below. It's easy to subscribe. Just hit that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, and please remember to hit the all notifications, and that way you will be notified whenever I upload new contents. Now the next point number 8 is, just be yourself. Nobody wants to be around somebody who is a fake, or who wants to be someone else. And why would you want to be someone else anyway? Everybody else is taken. And this speaks of confidence from within. As a gentleman is confident in himself. I've mentioned earlier, he's not arrogant, but he's confident in himself. You know, when I should ask you to look at, to think about somebody that you idolize, maybe a celebrity, whatever. And if I had to ask that person to make a list, whoever that person is, to make a list of the things physically that he or she is you know, uncomfortable about, that he is not very confident about, that will be a long list. And that list will most probably be longer than your list about yourself. We are all human beings. We have different gifts and different talents. All of us have a different purpose, whatever it is. You don't have to be and pretend to be someone else. You speak the way you speak, you walk the way you walk, you live where you live, you are who you are. And you know, once you find that as a gentleman, when you are confident in yourself, your aura changes. Your confidence level shoots through the roof. People are drawn to you because confidence attracts other people. That is what makes a lot of people so desirable, because they are simply confident in themselves. They are happy with who they are. They have found their purpose. They know what their weaknesses are. They know what their strengths are. They work on their weaknesses and they focus on their strengths. And it's as simple as that. And number 9 is a gentleman thinks before he speaks. This is so important. You know, a gentleman is wary of not being judgmental, not being prejudiced, not offending people, but he thinks before he speaks. Remember, wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. And last but not least is, don't talk too much about yourself. You see, no one likes someone who constantly talks about themselves and their accomplishments, etc. It will only make you appear self-absorbent and egotistical and arrogant and boastful and narcissistic. And that's not the trade, and that's not etiquette for a gentleman. No, a gentleman always focuses on other people rather than himself. Thank you so much, everybody, for once again joining me on today's episode. As usual, I really enjoy spending time with you all. And please, before we go, remember to subscribe to my channel, to like this video, to share it, and leave your comments in the comment section below. It's easy to subscribe. Hit that subscriber button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And as usual, remember to hit the all notifications, and that way you will be notified whenever I upload new content. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.